Hi everyone, welcome back to Data Science Building Blocks. This is Joe. I'm really excited for today. This is probably my favorite video yet. We're going to work on making a scatter plot in Power BI using two different methods. So bringing in our R script from before, and also, like I had mentioned in a prior video, actually using Power BI's built-in visual for scatter plots. So for this video, if you've been following along, open up your DSBBR file and also your DSBB Power BI file. If you haven't been following along, go back and check out the Power BI playlist, and there's also 4 videos in the R playlist if you'd like the script as well. But we're just going to be copying a short blurb that we had used in the past, so you can probably get by just watching the Power BI videos. But this is a series, so go back and check out all the videos, subscribe if you like, and you can follow along, save your work with us, and step through this with all of us as a group. So as this opens, I'm just going to do some quick cleanup. Page 1, and this is also review, I'm going to rename to key practice. We were practicing making key tables and pulling in the descriptions after we had modeled everything. Page 2, I'm going to just double click, call it measure practice. The visual on the left contains both of the measures that we wrote in Power BI. And page 3, I'll call just tree map. And now we're going to make a new tab, and we'll call this scatter plots, using snake case for the naming. So we will first use the R method. So go to this R script visual. And if you get this pop-up, just enable script visuals. That's totally fine. You'll see an R visual pop-up and an R script editor. So first thing we need to do, it won't actually let you click here and type any code. You have to drag in the fields that you'd like to use. So if we take a look at our R file, we only have one worksheet notebook tab here. At the very bottom, we're going to use this block of code here, this GGplot block of code. So I'll go ahead and copy it for now. Sorry, I'm in dark mode, so you can't see me highlight and do Control-C, but copy those 3 lines, keep it on your clipboard. But we won't be able to copy this in until we use the proper fields. So if you're looking at this, you can see we use WT for weight, MPG, and gear. So those are the ones we'll need. We're using the exact same data set in Power BI as we used in R when we were going through this unit. So open up your empty cars data table, and we will pick weight and gear and MPG. And you can see it's just popping them in values here, and it's writing some code for you, but it's commented out, so it's not actually doing anything. We can just click enter and paste that code from before. If you want to do this coding in R, which for this one, don't worry about it because it's just 3 lines of code, but sometimes it can get pretty complex. So you'd want to select this arrow here, and it would bring you to RStudio. And you can see that I'm now working with the exact same code as you saw in the visual script editor. But just go back for now, no need. I'm going to intentionally make a mistake here by clicking run, and I'll get an error. Let's expand this. You can see if you do details that it doesn't know what GGplot means, right? So that's because we're only looking at this little block of code here, and we didn't bring in the library. So I'm just going to do library, and we're using the GGplot function, but this actually comes from the GGplot2 library, or you can bring in all of tidyverse, which is where it lives, but it's only necessary to do the GGplot2 library in this case for this visual. So now that you have that, you can, doesn't matter if you put a space there or not, you can run again and you will see the visual from before pop up in Power BI. So there you have it. I'm just going to minimize this visualizations and fields so that you can see it. We can also X out of this script editor or minimize it. It'll pop back up as you select on the visual. I'll make this half the screen, and now I'll show you how to do it using the Power BI visual. But just a quick word on this, it could be very beneficial if you're really good in R and you want to add a bunch of features to your chart. It might just be easier for you to code those out using GGplot and the tidyverse library as opposed to add them all in Power BI, because there's going to be things you can do in R that you can't do in Power BI. But if you're working with a simple data set like we are here, I personally prefer Power BI because there's a lot of capabilities and you can set up the chart very easily. So let's show you how to do it. Click in this blank canvas area, click on your scatter plot visual, and we're going to bring in the exact same fields. So under empty cars, we've got MPG on the y-axis, we had weight on the x-axis, and gear in the legend. This should do it for us. Right now you're only seeing 1 point, but that's because this is doing an automatic summation, so you always have to check this. We don't want to group everything together by gear. That's what it's doing here, summing up all of the cars. We want to plot every single car, so we can do don't summarize and then click the y-axis. Also do don't summarize. If we click gear, it won't summarize everything like we have it, or like we had it on the x and y-axis. So now you're looking at the same exact chart on the right as you are on the left, but the legend is on the top line, and the scale in Power BI, which could be a pro or a con, it auto scales itself. So this one over here, it's kind of small. It starts at 0 and goes a little bit above 30 here. The top looks the same, but this one actually starts at 10 because there's no points below 10. So this is a little bit more zoomed in. If we click the paintbrush, now we can really get down to business and change these up a bit. So add a zoom slicer. This can be really nice. Something you can do super easily with just the click of a button in Power BI. Probably a little harder in R if you're not super good in R. You can see I can zoom in left or zoom in right. You can change the data colors. So for 3, if I wanted it to be like a pink, I can do that. You'll see all the blues change to pinks. You can change the shapes, like the markers, so diamonds instead of circles, all kinds of things. Take the fill out, add a title, take it away. This is kind of hard to read now, so I'll probably change it back, but you get the idea. And we have tooltips toggled on. This can also be nice. So there's nowhere to drag tooltips in the format area, but it is toggled on, so we can go back to here. And if we wanted to see the actual name of the car, for example, we can put that in tooltips. And just bear with me, I'm going to change the data colors, or the shapes rather, to a little bit bigger of a size and add the fill point back. Okay, so now when I hover over one, you see it's showing first car is Merc 240D. Well, it's saying first car, but since we've taken the summation out of this, it's really plotting every car. If you were to count all these points, and I did do this prior to making the video, it's 32, which is the exact length of the empty cars table. You can see down here it's 32 rows. It should plot every car every time, so whether you do first car or last car for your tooltips, it's just going to show you whatever car it's plotting. So that's all I wanted to show you on scatter plots today. Next time, or maybe not next time, but shortly in the future, sometime in this Power BI unit, we'll also talk about this Python visual, and that'll be our first taste of Python, and then we can jump into actually writing some more advanced Python in an actual IDE. So hope you liked this one, save your work, and I'll see you in the next one.